You have any doubts with respect to exemptions chapter? No? Okay. See this, place of supply. Like exemptions, this chapter is also abstract. What you need to do is that 2 chapters in GST, definitely you need to revise 1 day before the exam and you need to go for exam. One is exemptions, another is this place of supply, because you cannot remember this. Reason, these provisions are without any logic. Why this service is exempted, why for this transaction place of supply is this, just like formula only. But all other cases with some logic you can remember. So this you cannot. That's the reason why without fail 2 chapters, at least on the day of exam or 1 day before the exam, you should quickly revise and go. That is exemptions and place of supply. Place of supply, page number 45, segment 4. There are total 4 sections that we have in place of supply. Section 10 and 11 deals with place of supply in case of goods. Section 12 and 13 deals with place of supply in case of services. And section 14 deals with special provisions in case of OIDR services. Now, first we have section 10 and 11 which deals with place of supply in case of goods. So, section 10 is applicable in case of domestic transactions. Section 11 is applicable in case of import and export. So, section 10 we have total 5 situations. If supply involves movement of goods, the place of supply will be ending point of the goods. And 10(1)(c), if supply does not involve movement of goods, the place of supply will be location of goods when the supply has taken place. For example, I am having one ship which is located in Mumbai port. I am located in Tamil Nadu. You are located in Kerala. And I have a ship which is in Mumbai. I transferred the title of that ship to you by way of transfer of documents. Now, is it supply involving movement of goods or supply does not involve movement of goods? Supply does not involve movement of goods because the ship is in the same place when the sale has taken place. Now, in that case, what should be taken as the place of supply? Mumbai, Maharashtra. Location of such goods will be taken as the place of supply. So, it is not the location of supplier, location of recipient, but the location of goods at the time when supply has taken place. Suppose, if I have one car and I am driving that car from Tamil Nadu to Kerala and handed over the car to you and collected some money from you. Now, in that case, is supply involving movement of goods? Yes. So, in that case, what should be taken as the place of supply? Ending point of the goods. What is the ending point of the goods in this case? Kerala. That will be taken as the place of supply. So, if supply involves movement of goods, ending point will be taken as place of supply. If supply does not involve movement of goods, location of goods at the time of supply will be taken. In case of bill to ship to transaction, billing address will be taken as the place of supply. What is a bill to ship to transaction? Under this bill to ship to transaction, so order will be placed by one person. Say for example, ABC is a trader who is located in Tamil Nadu, and ABC trader has got one order from Mr. X located in Karnataka. So X has placed an order with ABC, and under that order, goods needs to be delivered to Mr. Y who is located in Kerala. Okay. Now, in that case, so what happens? ABC traders will deliver the goods to Mr. Y in Kerala, but raise the invoice to Mr. X only, because there is a privity of contract between ABC trader and Mr. X only. So, just because ABC traders has delivered the goods to Mr. Y, Mr. Y will not become the recipient to ABC traders, because as per the definition of recipient, the one who is liable to pay the consideration is the recipient, but not the one to whom we are delivering the goods or services. So, in this case, for this transaction, who is the recipient? Mr. X is the recipient. So, therefore, X address will be taken as the billing address and Y's address will be taken as the shipping address. So, this is known as bill to ship to transactions. In case of this bill to ship to transactions, For this invoice, what will be taken as the place of supply? It is not shipping address, but it is the billing address which will be taken. As per 10(1)(a), ending point of the goods. What is the ending point of the goods? Kerala. But 10(1)(a) will not be applicable here. Why 10(1)(a) will not be applicable? Because we have a specific provision 10(1)(b). So for bill to ship to transaction, place of supply will be location of billing address. What is the location of billing address? Karnataka. So Karnataka will be taken as the place of supply in this case. This is the transaction. This transaction is known as bill to ship to transaction. Whereas there is another transaction that happens between Mr. X and Mr. Y. So X will raise invoice to Mr. Y. X will raise invoice to Mr. Y. Why? Because X placed the order to deliver the goods to Y, means there is some contract between X and Y. On behalf of X, ABC Traders, is delivering the goods to Mr. Y, but there is some contract between X and Y, or there may not be contract also. But X will be raising invoice to Y because he already made the payment and now he need to recover it from Y, because who is enjoying the goods here? Y is enjoying the goods. This invoice is not bill to ship to invoice. This is a normal invoice. This invoice only bill to ship to invoice. This invoice only bill to ship to invoice, but this is a normal invoice. For this normal invoice, what will be taken as the place of supply? Regular provision. As per 10(1)(a), what will be taken as the place of supply? Ending point. So what will be taken as place of supply in this case? Ending point. Kerala will be taken as place of supply. And this place of supply, Karnataka, is determined under section 10(1)(b). Whereas this Kerala is determined as place of supply under section 10(1)(a). So generally in bill to ship to transactions, there might be another transaction also which we need to check. That transaction is between billing address and the shipping address. For the transaction, the place of supply is determined under section 10(1)(a) only, not under 10(1)(b). Only in case of bill to ship to transaction, the place of supply is determined under 10(1)(b), which is the billing address. Now, 3 points that we have seen. If supply involves movement of goods, ending point is taken as place of supply. If supply does not involve movement of goods, location of goods at the time of delivery will be taken. In case of bill to ship to transaction, the billing address will be taken as the place of supply. Then, in case where the goods are assembled or installed at site, that is, I have got an order to install a generator in the client's premises. Now, I will take the generator to the client's premises and I install it there. So, under the contract, I need to install the goods at the site. Now, what will be taken as the place of supply? The location where I am installing. Location of such assembly or installation will be taken. For example, my client is from Kerala. I am also from Kerala, but my client is asking me to install this generator in his branch in Andhra Pradesh. Now, in that case, what will be taken as the place of supply? Andhra Pradesh, because location where it is installed will be taken as place of supply. Then, supply on board a conveyance, that is during the travel. So, generally, some goods will be supplied. Like during the flight journey, so air hostess will be selling like this power banks, electronic gadgets, packed food items, etc. Now, in that case, what will be taken as the place of supply? Will she look into the window and identify the place? Impossible. So, therefore, location of the goods which are loaded means starting point of the goods. For the first one, it is ending point. For the last one, it is starting point. Okay, easily remember. For the first point, it is ending point. For the last point, it is starting point. Okay. So, there are total 5 points that you need to remember. Supply involves movement of goods, ending point of goods. Supply does not involve movement of goods. So, location of such goods. Bill to ship to transaction, billing address. Assembled or installed at site, location where it is assembled or installed. Supply of goods on board a conveyance, starting point of the goods. And in case when we have 10(1)(d) and 10(1)(e), these are specific provisions. That is, prefer specific provisions over general provisions. For example, I am delivering the goods, I am transporting the goods from one location to another location. Okay. Then in that case, so if you apply 10(1)(a), ending point will be taken as the place of supply. Suppose if supply does not involve movement of goods, so location of such goods will be taken. But wherever in this, if it is installation at site, ignore 10.1a, 10.1c, directly you come for 10.1d, location where it is installed. Don't say anything, whether supply involves movement of goods, supply does not involve movement of goods, don't say anything. The moment you see goods are required to be installed at the site, location where it is installed only will be taken as the place of supply. Got it? So in case of conflict between 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c over 10.1d or 10.1e, then 10.1d or 10.1e shall prevail because specific provision prevails over general provision. Then section 11 deals with import and export. In case of import, what will be taken as the place of supply? Location of importer will be taken as place of supply. In case of export, location outside India will be taken as the place of supply. Anyhow, import and export is deemed interstate. Then what is the point in determining the place of supply? In case of import, so we need to know to which state the 50% of GST should be given. For example, I am a registered person in Coimbatore and I imported some goods to port in Kochi. So where the import is happening? Kerala. Compared to Chennai port, for me, Kochi port is comfortable. So I imported the goods in Kochi port, and where the goods are imported? Kerala. But what is the location of importer? Tamil Nadu. So therefore, 50% of the IGST will go to central government, remaining 50% will go to Kerala or Tamil Nadu? Tamil Nadu, because location of importer is the place of supply, not the location where the goods are imported. You understood? So that's why they have given this. Then in case of export, what will be taken as a place of supply? The location outside India will be taken as place of supply. Then we have one more point. If both location of supplier and location of recipient is outside India in case of services. So in services we have section 12, section 13. When section 12 will be applicable? So goods point we completed, 10 we completed, 11 we completed, fully over. Now 12 and 13. When 12 and 13 will be applicable? If both supplier of service and recipient of service is in India, section 12. If one in India, other outside India, section 13. What if both are outside India? No GST, exempted. If supplier of service also outside India, recipient of service also outside India, it is exempted. Exception, transportation of goods by vessel, now not applicable because of the Supreme Court judgment. That is this: if both supplier and recipient are outside India, place of supply cannot be determined for such service and it is exempted. Supreme Court in Mohit Minerals Private Limited case held that GST should not be levied on these transactions. You got it? Then when 12 and 13 will be applicable? If both supplier and recipient are in India, 12. If one in India, other outside India, section 13. The moment you determine place of supply under section 13, don't see location of supplier and place of supply. Always it will be deemed interstate supply. Already we studied this. If we determine the place of supply under section 13, see this. In case of services, if location of supplier is India and place of supply is determined under section 13, and if it is in India, then it will never come under intrastate supply, but it will always be deemed interstate supply. That's what I am telling. The moment you determine place of supply under section 13, don't see location of supplier, place of supply and all. Wherever you need to write it as what supply? Interstate supply, and it will be chargeable to IGST. Then, how to determine place of supply in case of services? This 12 and 13 is actually connected. So, what we are trying to do is that for the same situation, we are discussing if it is 12, what is the provision? If it is 13, what is the provision? So, in exam, what you need to do is that first you need to identify the situation. And after identifying the situation, you need to check location of supplier and recipient. If both are in India, you write provisions related to 12. If one in India, other outside India, you write the provisions related to section 13. Now, first general provisions we will see. So, when general provisions will be applicable? If specific provisions are not applicable, then only general provisions will be applicable. Okay, just this 2-page information only you need to remember for place of supply, nothing else. Actually, in your ICS study material, this will go into some 30 pages. The 30 pages information I have just consolidated in these 2 pages. So, try to take micro xerox or these 2 pages along with the admit card you take. So, definitely it will be useful for you. Of course, up to exam hall, not inside exam hall. And general provisions will be applicable if there is no specific provision. What does it say in case of section 12? If it is a B2B transaction, B2B means what? Recipient is registered. B2C means what? Recipient is unregistered. B2B we need to take location of recipient. If it is B2C, you take location of recipient in the records of supplier. What if records of supplier details are not available? Then location of supplier will be taken as the place of supply. For example, you are going in a highway and all of a sudden in a car, and all of a sudden there is a car breakdown. The car is not working and you searched in Google the nearest mechanic. So you got one address, you called that person came and he did the repair and he collected some 5,000 rupees from you. Now in this case, general provisions will come, both are in India, and it is not B2B because you are not giving any registration details. So it will be B2C, and will he ask, sir, you are from which place, what is your address, etc. and all? No, he will be not bothered about that. So therefore B2B or B2C? B2C. And is location of recipient available in the records of supplier? No. So what will be taken as a place of supply? Location of supplier only will be taken as the place of supply. Understood this? Then suppose if it is section 13, we don't have the classification related to B2B, B2C. Always it is same, that is location of recipient in the records of supplier, if not location of supplier. So whatever provisions that we have for B2C in 12, the same point that we have as general provision for 13 also, correct or not? So come on, tell me what is the general provisions in case of section 12? B2B, location of recipient. B2C, location of recipient in the records of the supplier. If there is no information, location of supplier. Okay. Then in case of section 13, location of recipient in the records of supplier. Otherwise, location of supplier. Then second situation, in relation to immovable property, including accommodation services. So any service in relation to immovable property means what service will come? That is construction service, works contract service, architect services, renting of immovable property service, accommodation services, then real estate services, everything will come service in relation to immovable property. Now in case of service in relation to immovable property, under section 12, what is the place of supply? If immovable property is in India, then immovable property location is taken as place of supply. If immovable property is outside India, then location of recipient will be taken as place of supply. For example, say there is a construction service provider who is located in Maharashtra, and Mukesh Ambani, who wants a building to be constructed, is also located in Maharashtra. But where the building is located? Somewhere an island in Australia. Now in that case, what is the location of immovable property? Is it 12 or 13? 12. Both are in India, 12. But where the immovable property is? Outside India. So what will be taken as a place of supply? Location of recipient, that is Maharashtra only will be taken. What if the property is in Kerala? Then what will be taken as the place of supply? Location of property, that is Kerala will be taken as the place of supply. Understood or not? So in case of section 12, if the immovable property is in India, location of immovable property. If the immovable property is outside India, location of recipient. But in case of section 13, always location of immovable property only, wherever the property may be. For example, you are a construction service provider in Kerala and Elon Musk has approached you for construction, where in Tamil Nadu he wants to construct a building. Now in that case, what will be taken as a place of supply? Section 12 or 13? 13. And what will be taken as place of supply? Tamil Nadu will be taken as place of supply. What if the building needs to be constructed in Japan? What will be taken as place of supply? Japan will be taken as place of supply. Location of immovable property, wherever it may be. For 12 only we need to see if immovable property is outside India, location of recipient, that point is not there for 13. Then third situation is performance based services in relation to individual. Means there is an individual, to that individual we are providing some services that will be coming under this category. Example, healthcare services or grooming services or training services. These are all service in relation to individuals, not for business entities. These are service in relation to individuals. Now, in case of section 12, you see, if it is food and beauty related services, then what will be taken as a place of supply? Location where the service is performed, means performance location. For example, when you go to a restaurant in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, you are from Kerala, you go to a restaurant in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Now, will they ask what food you need, or they will ask which place you are from? They are not bothered about your place. Why they are not bothered about your place? Always what is the place of supply? Location where service are actually performed. That's why restaurants will never raise IGST invoice. Restaurants will always raise CGST, SGST invoice, because supply of food, what will be taken as place of supply? Location where it is performed. Where is it performed? In the restaurant only. Therefore, it will be coming under intrastate. Got it? So, for food related and beauty related means what are the examples? Beauty parlors, grooming centers, cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, etc. and all will come in this category. Then training and performance appraisal services. In case of training and performance appraisal, we need to see B2B or B2C. B2B, location of recipient. B2C, location where services are actually performed. And training services, for example, you are providing training to some corporate employees, and the training is held in somewhere Shimla. You are located in Kerala, and even recipient is located in Kerala, the corporate is located in Kerala, but Kerala itself, you don't want to take the training, so you want to do the training somewhere in Shimla, Himachal Pradesh, etc. and all. You planned the event there, okay. So now in that case, what will be taken as the place of supply? Is it B2B or B2C? B2B. Therefore, what will be taken? Location of recipient only. What if the services are provided to B2C? Then it will be location where services are actually performed. So that Shimla or Himachal Pradesh will be taken as the place of supply. Performance appraisal means what? Performance appraisal means acting as judge in reality show is a performance appraisal. Then HR review. Usually third parties will be coming and doing the review of employees. That is known as performance appraisal. Then all other services, we will apply general provisions. So what are the 3 points you need to remember? In case of performance based service in relation to individual, section 12, divide it into 3. Related to food and beauty, it will be location where it is performed. Related to training and performance appraisal, B2B, B2C. B2B, location of recipient. B2C, location where services are actually performed. In any other case, general provisions will be applicable. Then for section 13, only 2 classifications. Physical presence of the recipient required, physical presence of the recipient not required. If physical presence of the recipient required, location where it is performed. If physical presence of recipient not required, then general provisions. For example, there is a cosmetic surgeon who is located outside India. You are going to that cosmetic surgeon outside India for undergoing a cosmetic surgery. Now, in that case, what is the location of supplier? Outside India. What is the location of recipient? India. And in this case, where the services are performed, whether physical presence of the recipient required or not, of course, cosmetic surgery and all cannot be done online, okay. So, you have to go there. So, therefore, in this case, whether physical presence of the recipient required? Yes. So, what is the location where services are actually performed? Outside India. That outside India will be taken as the place of supply. What if the cosmetic surgeon come from outside India to India to perform the cosmetic surgery? Then in that case, again physical presence of the recipient required? Yes. So, location where it is performed. Where is it performed? India. India will be taken as place of supply. What if it is beauty services, beautician services or diet services and all? So nowadays what happens is that diet services are provided over online. So daily they will be telling like what food to eat, they will be sending the information, okay. So like morning what to eat, afternoon what to eat, night what to eat, how to cook, what are the ingredients required, like that and all. So it's like a package. So supplier is located outside India, recipient is located in India, because basically our people without putting hard work, they wanted to reduce their weight, okay. So only way is what? Diet. And that is the only way, otherwise they cannot reduce. So therefore for that they will be spending money. So a lot of apps and all are available today, okay. So now in this case, supplier is located outside India, recipient is located in India, whether physical presence of the recipient is required, no, online, this is. Then in that case, what will be taken as place of supply? General provisions. As per general provisions, what is the place of supply? Location of recipient in the records of supplier. Suppose if recipient details not available, then location of supplier. Understood? So we completed 3 points: general provisions, service in relation to immobile property, and performance based service in relation to individual. Now look into the fourth one, performance based service in relation to goods. In case of performance based service in relation to goods, for 12 we don't have any specific provision, so general provisions will be applicable. So remember, in the absence of specific provision, general provisions will be applicable. Then in case of section 13, we have to divide into two: physical presence of the goods required, physical presence of the goods not required. If physical presence of the goods not required, location of goods. If physical presence of the goods required, location where it is performed. So, but for this physical presence of the goods required, where it is performed, we have 4 exceptions. So let's take one situation. You are one engineer, mechanical engineer located in India. Now, you are bringing one machine from Germany to do the repair, and after repair, you are sending back the machine. What is the location of supplier? You, India. What is the location of recipient? Germany, outside India. So therefore, section 13. Whether physical presence of the goods required or not required, required, because you are bringing it to do the repair, required. So what will be taken as the place of supply? Location where it is performed. Where is it performed? India. So India will become place of supply. So it will never qualify for export of service. Why it will not qualify for export of service? In order to become export of service, 5 conditions should be satisfied. Supplier should be in India, recipient should be outside India, place of supply should be outside India, and then consideration should be in convertible foreign exchange. Supplier and recipient are not two establishments of the same person. If place of supply is in India, it will never qualify for export of services. That's why they have created an exception. What does they are telling? If the goods are temporarily imported for carrying out repairs or any other process, and after completion of these repairs or process, if you are taking the goods outside India, the place of supply is not location where it is performed, but the place of supply will be location of recipient. Goods temporarily imported and exported after repairs or any other process, so place of supply will be location of recipient instead of location where service are actually performed. Then second exception. In case of research and development or any testing on pharmaceutical products, generally some medicines are imported into India for carrying out the testing on the medicines, and after testing the report will be given on that. In this case, the location where service are actually performed is India, but again they are creating an exception. What they are telling, don't take location where it is performed, you take location of recipient. Where the pharmaceutical company is located outside India, that will be taken. What is the difference between the first exception and the second exception? In the first exception, goods are temporarily imported and exported after repairs or process. But in the second exception, the testing once you do, the drugs and medicines will be destroyed. You will not be sending it outside India. That's why the second exception is created. Then third exception and fourth exception you see, common repairs and maintenance in relation to aircrafts or its parts, and fourth exception is repair and maintenance in relation to ships or its parts used in the course or furtherance of business. So these are the 4 exceptions. In these 4 exceptions, we will take location where service are actually performed or the location of recipient. Location of recipient. First you need to remember performance based service in relation to goods. Section 12 we don't have any provision, so general provisions. Section 13 divide into 2. Physical presence of the goods required, physical presence of the goods not required. Physical presence of the goods not required, what will be taken? Location of such goods, simple, over. If physical presence of the goods required, again divide into 2. 4 exceptional cases, location of recipient. In other cases, location where services are performed. So what are the 4 exceptional cases? So goods temporarily imported for carrying out repairs or any other process and exported after repairs, Or in case of research and development related to pharmaceutical industry, maintenance or repair relation to aircrafts used for business, maintenance or repair in relation to ships and its parts used for business. Then next one is event related. Event related. So event related means admission to an event or organizing an event. In case of section 12, you see location where the event is held will be taken as the place of supply. In case of admission to an event, so always the event location. Even for 13 also, admission to an event, always the event location will be taken as place of supply. For example, Filmfare Corporation is conducting a award function where in Dubai, and they are selling the tickets to the people in India to attend that function. Filmfare Corporation is Mumbai, Maharashtra, and the person who buy the ticket is India. So section 12. And this is what service? Admission to an event. For admission to an event, what will be taken as a place of supply? Location where the event is held. Where the event is held? In Dubai. Dubai will be taken as the place of supply. That is this point. Okay. Suppose if the event is held in India, India will be taken as place of supply. In case of section 13 also, for admission to an event, location where the event is held will be taken as place of supply, which is common between 12 and 13. Is it clear? Whereas for organizing an event, what is organizing an event means? Like event management services, etc. For organizing an event, for 12 you see B2B location of recipient, B2C location where the event is held. Suppose if the event is held outside India, then location of recipient will be taken as the place of supply. Got it? So generally B2B location of recipient, B2C location where the event is held. If the event is outside India, then location of recipient. Let's try to understand this with an example. That is, say nowadays lot of movies, they are targeting this pan-India movies like that, because revenue, end of the day, it is about the collections. And collections, more collections means more revenue to the actor. Rather than acting in 10 movies and earning, with one movie itself, they will be able to make money. That is the basic idea behind this pan-India movies. Now, what happens is that, say, one movie needs to be, promoted. For promoting that, they approach a event management company. That event management company will organize some pre-release events in different locations. Are you getting this? So they will organize a pre-release events in every place. See, it may be a Kerala movie, but when they want to focus on the pan-India, what they do, they definitely conduct the pre-release events. And when they conduct more pre-release events, so people will come to know, okay, this kind of movie is going to be released. That's where the audience will be coming. Okay, this is the idea. Now, there is a event management company. That event management company is providing event management services, and event may be conducted in India or event may be conducted outside India. Possible? So, nowadays even they are targeting outside market also. Reason? See, outside and all, cost is high, like price of the tickets is high. So, the collections will automatically increase. Then in that case, there is a event management company. Where is it located? India. And they are providing services to producer. Okay. And both are in India. So, we need to refer to section 12 or section 13, section 12. And where the event is held outside India, say Singapore or Malaysia or Dubai, etc., there the event is held. Now, what will be taken as the place of supply? Location of recipient only. Why? Even if the event is held outside India, location of recipient only will be taken as place of supply. If it is B2B, anyhow it is location of recipient only here. Even if it is B2C, if the event is held outside India, then location of recipient will be taken. What if the event is held in India? Then location where the event is held is place of supply. But for 13, this confusion is not at all there. Always it is a location of event only. Got it? Now, can you tell me about this event related provisions? Come on. Admission to an event, location of event, let it be 12 or 13. Organizing an event for 12, divide into 2, B2B, B2C. B2B, location of recipient. B2C, location where the event is held. What if the event is held outside India? Location of recipient. In case of section 13, always location where the event is held. Okay, so this is about event related services, and the remaining aspects can we complete so that this will be over. Okay, so see the next one, that is transportation of goods related services. In case of transportation of goods services, you check 12. If it is B2B, location of recipient, B2C, starting point of the goods. If the goods are taken from India to outside India, then it will be ending point of the goods for both B2B and B2C. For example, you are a transporter located in Maharashtra. You are transporting the goods from Maharashtra to Pakistan. What will be taken as the place of supply? Pakistan will be taken. If you are taking goods from India to outside India, always it will be ending point of the goods. Is it clear? You are located in Maharashtra. Your customer is also located in India, but you are taking the goods from where to where? India to Pakistan. So what will be taken? Section 12 or section 13? Section 12. Why 12? Supplier and recipient both are in India, but the goods are taken from India to outside India. Don't check B2B or B2C, always ending point. What is the ending point here? Pakistan. Suppose if the goods are taken from Pakistan to India, then what will be taken as the place of supply? Now you analyze B2B or B2C. If it is B2B, location of recipient. If it is B2C, starting point of the goods. What is the starting point of the goods? Pakistan will be taken. Only when you are taking goods from India to outside India, always it will be ending point. In other cases means what? Within India or outside India to India, we need to check B2B or B2C. If it is B2B, location of recipient, B2C, starting point of the goods. Then, in case of section 13, other than mail or courier, ending point of the goods, mail or courier, it will be general provisions. So, in case of courier agency service, we will take general provisions. If it is others, normal cargo consignments and all will be transported, for that ending point of goods will be taken. So, tell me what is the provision for transportation of goods? Come on. Section 12, divide into 2. India to outside India, other cases. India to outside India, what will be taken? Ending point. Simple. Then other cases, divide into 2. B2B, location of recipient. B2C, starting point of the goods. Section 13, 2 points. Other than mail or courier, ending point of the goods. Mail or courier, general provisions. Then transportation of the passengers, easy. B2B, location of recipient. B2C, starting point of the passenger. Section 13 also starting point of the passenger, because in section 13 we don't have B2B, B2C classification. So always starting point of the passenger. For example, you are booking a ticket, you are booking a flight ticket from Cochin to Delhi. What will be taken as the place of supply? B2B. B2B, location of recipient. B2C, Kochi, starting point. You understood? Suppose if it is section 13, you are booking a ticket from Kochi to Delhi, but you do not belong to India. You are a person outside India and the supplier is airline company in India. Then section 13. What will be taken as a place of supply? Kochi, starting point. Suppose if there is a airline company in India and the person is outside India, say Dubai, Middle East. From Middle East to Kerala, a ticket is booked. What will be taken as the place of supply? Middle East. Why? Starting point of the passenger will be taken. Is it clear? Then, in case of services on board a conveyance, example, service on board a conveyance, food will not be service, food will come under goods. Why food will come under goods? Usually in flights, they will not be selling cooked food, they will be selling packed food only. Packed food will come under goods, only cooked food will come under services. In trains only they will be selling cooked food. There will be a pantry car, in that pantry car they will make the food and that will be sold to the passengers. That is only coming under supply of service. Whereas if the food is already cooked outside and if it is loaded into the conveyance, it is called as goods. These are coming under packed foods and it will be goods. And nowhere in flight air hostess will be sitting and making Maggie So whenever you are asking Maggie and all, so therefore everything will be packed food only. Then in that case, it will be coming under goods. Already we studied supply of goods on board a conveyance. What will be taken as a place of supply? Starting point of the goods. Whereas in case of services on board a conveyance, example, video on demand services, like you want to watch some movies, etc., you will pay for it, or leg space will not be sufficient for you to comfortably sit. You will ask for extra leg space. Then they will change the seat so that emergency line will be there. In that they will make you sit. For that they will collect some 2000 rupees extra from you, or upgradation from economy class to the business class. Like that, these are the services. And even beauty treatment service or beauty parlor services. Say you are a celebrity, and when you get down in the airport, lot of cameras will be clicking you, and you should look good. Otherwise your dirty face no one will be able to see. So therefore beauty treatment services will be provided during the journey. That will be coming under services on board a conveyance. And in case of services on board a conveyance, always it is starting point of the conveyance, let it be 12 or 13. So where the conveyance has started, that will be taken as the place of supply. Say for example, there is a person who is traveling from Kochi to Mumbai via Chennai. Kochi to Chennai, first leg of the journey. Chennai to Mumbai, second leg of the journey. The flight is going this way. Got it? Kochi, Chennai, Mumbai. Now the passenger boarded in Chennai. The passenger boarded in Chennai and received the services. Now what will be taken as a place of supply? Kochi. Why? Because starting point of the conveyance, not starting point of the passenger. Starting point of the conveyance will be taken in both the cases. Then OIDR services, what will be taken as the place of supply? General provisions. OIDR services, general provisions in case of 12. In case of section 13, location of recipient. Then banking and other financial services. In case of 12, we will take general provisions. We don't have any specific provisions. In case of section 13, location of supplier. LOS means location of supplier. But if services are provided to account holders of the bank, otherwise it will be general provisions. So for banking and other financial service, section 12, we don't have any specific provisions, so general provisions. But for 13, what is it they're telling? Are they providing service to account holders, or are they providing services to others? If they are providing service to account holders, what will be taken as place of supply? Location of supplier. If they are providing service to others, it will be general provisions. Then intermediary services. Intermediary means what? They will be facilitating or arranging transaction between two parties. Commission agent, consignment agent, brokers, these people are called as intermediaries. In case of intermediary service, section 12 we don't have any provision, so general provision will be applicable. In case of section 13, location of supplier will be taken as place of supply. Then hiring of a means of transport means what? Renting of motor vehicles. Again, for 12 we don't have any provisions, it is general provisions only. But for 13, we need to check, is it aircraft or vessel? Yes, then general provision. Any other conveyance up to 30 days, location of supplier, beyond 30 days, it will be general provisions. So what is the hiring of means of transport? 12, no need, general provisions. Actually, for these 4 services, under 12, we don't have any provisions. What are the 4 services? OIDR services, banking and other financial services, intermediary services, hiring of a means of transport. In these 4 cases, under 12 we don't have any provisions, it is general provisions only. So, hiring of means of transport in case of section 13, divide it into 2. What is that? Is it aircraft or vessel or others? Aircraft or vessel, always general provisions. Others, again divide into 2. Up to 30 days, beyond 30 days. Up to 30 days, location of supplier. Beyond 30 days, it will be general provisions. Last, telecommunication service including broadband and DTH. For 13, we don't have any specific provisions, so general provisions is applicable. Whereas for section 12, you need to see, is it fixed line services? Fixed line means what? So landline or set-up box, etc. In case of telecommunication, what is fixed line? Landline. In case of broadband, so that fiber net modem they will install, and DTH they will install an antenna and a set-up box. So then the location where the equipment is installed will be taken. Suppose if it is mobile, again divide it into 2. Is it prepaid or postpaid? If it is postpaid, always billing address. Okay. So telecommunication service divided into two here. Fixed line, location where the equipment is installed. Mobile, again divided into two. Postpaid, prepaid. Postpaid, always billing address. Prepaid, whether it is through dealer, yes, then dealer address. If it is online recharge, general provisions. How you will recharge your prepaid mobile? Either through online. If internet is working, you will do through online. So general provisions. If internet is not working, you will visit a nearest person. One dealer will be there. You will pay money to him and he will do recharge. So the dealer location will be taken. So these are the points that we have in relation to services. With this we completed. So all the place of supply provisions in relation to services. Goods already we have seen, services. Now in this summary, in few places we have B2B and B2C division. What are the places where we have B2B, B2C division? Only in 12. Only in 12. What are they? Only 3 places. TOT. TOT. T-O-T. T for training and performance appraisal. O for organizing an event. T for transportation of goods and passengers. Is it clear? Remaining places you should not get confused. Is it B2B or B2C? Only 3 places you should analyze B2B versus B2C. What are the 3 places? Training and performance appraisal, organizing an event, and the transportation of passengers or goods. See this point. Section 12 B2B versus B2C. Only in these 3 places. Training and performance appraisal, organizing an event, transportation of goods or passengers. And in these 3 cases, B2B, what will be taken as place of supply? Always location of recipient. Then again, in this chart, under section 13, in 3 places, location of supplier is taken as place of supply. What are they? Section 13. Refer section 13. 3 places, location of supplier is taken as place of supply. Number 1, banking and other financial services to account holders. Then intermediary services. Number 2, intermediary services. Number 3, hiring of other than aircraft or vessel up to 30 days. Got it? So in these 3 places only, location of supplier is place of supply. That also I have given. Banking services only to account holders, intermediary services, hiring of other than aircraft or vessel up to a period of 30 days. Then services on board a conveyance, what will be taken as a place of supply? Starting point. Always starting point of the conveyance. Let it be 12 or 13. And then in case of admission to an event, what will be taken as a place of supply? So location where the event is held. That is common between 12 and 13. Okay. So with this we completed place of supply. We have rules related to this. Look into page number 48. IGST rules related to place of supply. So whatever place of supply that we have determined so far under section 12 and 13, it may be possible in more than one state. If it is in more than one state, how it is to be apportioned is given in this rule 3. So rule 3 talks about advertisement services provided to government. When advertisement service is provided to government, we need to take whatever is the state where advertisement is disseminated, that state will be taken as the place of supply. For example, central government is receiving advertisement services with respect to newspaper ad. Now that particular ad may be given in all editions of the newspaper. So then in that case, how the consideration needs to be apportioned. Each state where the advertisement is provided. So on what basis we will apportion? For that purpose only we have rule 3. So manner of determination of proportion of value attributable to different states or union territories in the case of supply of advertisement service to central government, state government, a statutory body or a local authority. Suppose if the advertisement is on train, then we need to take the length of track and apportion. For example, if a train is starting from one location in Kerala and it is going to another location in Tamil Nadu, now this will be covering 2 states. This train will cover 2 states. So now what is the length of track in each state? On the basis of that length of track in Kerala versus length of track in Tamil Nadu. So that should be taken as the basis of apportionment, and we need to divide. Length of railway track in each state or union territory for the train. On the top of the train we will be seeing ads and all na. So how it should be divided, on what basis? Length of track. Then next, suppose if the advertisement is on the train tickets, number of stations in each state should be taken as the ratio for apportionment. Suppose if the advertisement is on television channels, first we need to divide the entire amount between all the channels based on viewership data. Who will publicize this viewership data? This viewership data is publicized by BARC, Broadcast Audience Research Council. We need to take the data and divide it between the viewers, and thereafter, suppose if a particular channel is having audience in more than one state, based on population census, we need to apportion. Say this, figures of last week of the given quarter will be used for calculations for the succeeding quarter. For example, this quarter, if they need to determine the viewership data, we will take last quarter, last week data for apportionment during the current quarter. And if the data pertains to more than one state, ratio of population shall be used for apportionment. This is in case of television channel. Then in case of advertisement over internet, it is deemed to be across the country, because you cannot restrict the advertisement into particular geography. For that reason, once the advertisement is given on internet, it is deemed to be provided all over India, and we need to apportion based on internet subscribers in each state. Suppose if the advertisement is through SMS, so we need to take telecom subscriber data from where? From TRAI. So telecom subscriber data published by TRAI in each state. Again, last quarter, last week should be taken. So these are the 5 points that we have. Apart from this, any other case, it is the amount payable ratio, that is expenditure ratio. So first of all, when rule 3 will be applicable, the applicability we need to understand. So I am providing advertisement services to government. I get some money. Is this advertisement in one state or multiple states? Multiple states. Now this needs to be apportioned between multiple states. In what ratio it will be apportioned? In what mode the advertisement is given? Is the advertisement over the train? Yes. Then the length of track will be taken as the ratio for apportionment. This is just like our overheads you would have studied in costing. So basis of apportionment will be there na. Rent you will apportion on the basis of floor area, electricity you will apportion on the basis of machine hours, like that. So that way only we are just apportioning here. Suppose if the advertisement is on train, on the basis of length of track. If the advertisement is on train tickets, then it will be based on number of stations in each state. Then suppose if the advertisement is television, then we need to see it based on each state, each channel first, viewership. So that data we get from BRC, last quarter, last week. And thereafter, if the particular channel is having audience in more than one state, then we need to apportion based on population census. Suppose if the advertisement is over internet, it is deemed to be across the country, and we need to divide it based on internet subscriber data. And thereafter, if the advertisement is over SMS, we need to take the telecom subscriber data and we need to apportion, and telecom subscriber data published by TRAI last quarter, last week should be taken. Apart from this, any other advertisement, like advertisement in cinema theaters, advertisement in hoardings, advertisement in newspapers, advertisement in radio channels, etc., it is on the basis of expenditure ratio. For example, I am a newspaper company. I get 5 crores from government for the ad. Now this 5 crores I will be apportioning based on my expenditure. That is, in order to put first page ad in Kerala edition, how much is the amount? In order to put the first page ad in Tamil Nadu edition, how much is the amount? Like that, I will apportion my revenue based on my expenses. That is known as this expenditure ratio. This is in case of rule 3. Then rule 4 and rule 8 is applicable in case of service in relation to immobile property. Generally, service in relation to immobile property, what will be taken as a place of supply? Location of that immobile property. What if the immobile property is in more than one state? Then in what basis it should be apportioned? First of all, what service it is? It is accommodation and its ancillary services. For example, under a package tour, if the tour is provided for 5 nights, in that 5 nights, 3 nights in Kerala and 2 nights in Tamil Nadu. then the total amount will be divided on what basis? Number of nights stayed in such property. So 3:2 ratio we need to apportion, because in case of accommodation service, what will be taken as a place of supply? Location of that immobile property. Now it's like a package tour, same chain of hotels. So in that 3 nights we stay in Kerala, 2 nights we stay in Tamil Nadu, but the payment that we make is only single payment. Now they need to divide that payment into 2 between Kerala and Tamil Nadu. In what ratio? Number of nights stayed in that property, that is 3:2 ratio. Suppose if it is accommodation in a houseboat or vessel, so there is a houseboat in which we travel, so the starting point is in Kerala, the ending point is in Tamil Nadu. Then how to apportion that? Time spent in the houseboat. Like the person will sit and see how much time it is traveling in Kerala and Tamil Nadu? No. On the basis of the standard time, they will apportion, okay? Time spent by the boat or vessel in each state or union territory. Suppose if it is any other service in relation to immobile property, based on the area of the immobile property, we will apportion. Suppose if there is a hotel, that hotel is in the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Now the hotel is constructed in such a way that part of the hotel will come in Kerala, part of the hotel will come in Tamil Nadu. Now you stay in a room in that hotel. So now how the rent will be apportioned, how the accommodation charges will be apportioned based on the square feet. How much of the square feet is in Kerala is to how much of the square feet in Tamil Nadu. So based on the area of immobile property, it will be apportioned. Suppose if there is a repair and maintenance contract in relation to some group of hotels, so chain of hotels in 4 different states. Now under a single contract, we provide the AMC services for all the 4 hotels, like 4 states, the hotel in 4 states. Now again, on what basis we need to apportion that AMC contract? On the basis of area of immobile property. So tell me, in case of service in relation to immobile property, what are the 3 points that we have? If it is accommodation services, number of nights stayed in each state. If it is accommodation in houseboat, time spent in each state. Any other service in relation to immobile property, area of immobile property in each state. Then 5 and 9, rule 5 and 9 related to organizing an event. Generally, what will be taken as a place of supply in case of organizing an event? Location where the event is held. Under a single contract, what if the event is held in more than 1 state? Then simple, we need to apportion that in the base of expenditure ratio. What does it mean? Suppose if the event management company is getting 3 crore rupees for conducting event in 3 states. Now for these 3 states, the expenditure need not be the same. There would be difference in the expenditure. So in that expenditure ratio, they need to apportion their revenue. So that is this organizing an event. Then rule 6 is applicable in case of telecommunication services fixed line. So generally in case of telecommunication fixed line, what will be taken as the place of supply? Location where the installation, like the circuit is installed, correct? So in case of lease line, what is lease line? Lease line is a private line, private internet line that connects the multiple branches of a bank. So in case of lease line, they will be connecting lot of branches and ATMs. So then how to determine the consideration if that particular lease line is laid between two different states. So based on the circuit points, number of points lying in each state or union territory, we need to apportion. Then where the service is performed in more than 1 state in relation to goods, rule 7. So rule 7, performance based service in relation to goods. What will be taken as a place of supply? Place of supply will be if physical presence of the goods is required, location where services are actually performed. Now what if under a single contract we are providing repair services in relation to goods and in multiple states? Then we need to divide it in equal ratio if it is the same goods. For example, a company has approached me to provide AMC service to their ACs installed in their offices in multiple states. Now simple, multiple states, equal ratio, I will divide the contract price. What if in 1 state they are asking me to do ACs AMC, another state they are asking me to do AMCs for computers. Now you need to see what is the invoice value of ACs and invoice value of computers. In that ratio, the contract price needs to be apportioned. Suppose if the service is provided to an individuals, then GAAP ratio, that is expenditure ratio. Say for example, there is a fitness trainer. That fitness trainer goes to each and every shooting spot in order to provide the fitness services to the hero, because that particular movie, hero is an action hero. So he need to always show his muscles only. So then in that case, before the shooting, so he need to do some exercises. So then only, he will be looking the same way from the beginning to the end of the movie. For that he needed a fitness trainer. That fitness trainer is from outside the country. He is coming to India and he travels along with that particular hero in each and every place where the shooting happens. This is what performance based service in relation to individual location where services are actually performed. So how we need to apportion the revenue based on GAAP, that is expenditure ratio. Actually, as per accounting standards, how the revenue will be recognized based on our expenditure. That is what GAAP is about. So these are the rules that we have. Actually, they have not tested one question also based on this. But up to this, section 12 and 13, multiple questions they have tested so far. But on these rules, they have not tested any question. But even if it is asked, if you know the basis of apportionment, it is okay. Easily you will be able to arrive at the answer. Then next we have some circulars here. That is, in case when a person is outsourcing a portion of the service to another person, what will be taken as the value of export of service? Say for example, ABC Private Limited. ABC Private Limited entered into contract with XYZ Incorporation. As per that contract, ABC Limited is required to provide the services. Either ABC Limited can provide the services or they can ask any other person to provide the services. Where is ABC Limited located? Say Maharashtra, and XYZ Incorporation is located in say Germany. Okay. Now what happens is that ABC Limited provided some services to XYZ Limited, and ABC Private Limited requested Mr. John, who is also located in Germany, to provide some services to XYZ Incorporation. Now, for the services of John as well as for the service of ABC Private Limited, the invoice is raised by ABC Private Limited only. Again, I am repeating, ABC Private Limited, which is located in Maharashtra, provided some services to XYZ Incorporation, which is located in Germany. And part of the service is provided by ABC Private Limited. Remaining part of the service is provided by Mr. John. Where is John located? Germany. Now, for all the services provided, so ABC Private Limited raised invoice to XYZ Incorporation for $5,000. So, invoice for $5,000 is raised by ABC Private Limited. But what XYZ Incorporation is doing, they are paying to ABC Private Limited $3,000 and they are giving $2,000 to Mr. John, because John has also provided services to XYZ Incorporation. So again I am repeating, ABC Private Limited Maharashtra provided some services to XYZ Incorporation, and Mr. John of Germany has also provided service to XYZ Incorporation, but these services are provided on behalf of ABC Private Limited. So there is no separate contract between Mr. John and XYZ Incorporation. On behalf of ABC Private Limited only, these services are provided. And ABC Private Limited raised the invoice for $5,000. XYZ Incorporation has given $3,000 to ABC Private Limited and $2,000 to Mr. John. Now in this case, the dispute that came before the department is that how much should be taken as value of export of services by ABC Private Limited. First of all, is it export of services? Yes. Location of supplier India, location of recipient outside India, place of supply also outside India, consideration is in convertible foreign exchange. So therefore, it is export of service. But how much should be taken as export of service? Is it the $5,000 or the $3,000? Why $3,000? Because they received actually only $3,000. And why $5,000? Because they raised the invoice for $5,000. How much should be taken as value of export of service? The export of service is $5,000 even though they received $3,000 only. Why? Because John's services will come under import of services to ABC Private Limited. Okay. Now, for ABC Private Limited, there is import of service as well as export of services. Okay. How there will be import of service? John has provided service to XYZ Incorporation on whose behalf? On behalf of ABC, which means John will be raising invoice to ABC Private Limited for $2,000. Invoice for $2,000, but the payment John has got from XYZ Incorporation. Now what does law says? This services provided by ABC to XYZ is export of service for $5,000, provided that on $2,000 GST is payable by ABC Private Limited as import of service under RCM, because John is providing services to XYZ on behalf of ABC, means John will raise invoice to ABC. In case of this invoice, that is invoice for $2,000, there are two invoices, invoice for $5,000 and invoice for $2,000. With respect to invoice for $5,000, who is the supplier? With respect to invoice for $5,000, who is the supplier? $5,000, ABC Private Limited. ABC Private Limited is the supplier. With respect to this $2,000, who is the supplier? Mr. John. And who is the recipient? Who is the recipient? Here XYZ Incorporation, but here it is ABC Private Limited. But sir, John is providing services to XYZ, of course, but on whose behalf the service is provided? On behalf of ABC. Already we know recipient definition. The one who is liable to pay consideration will be taken as the recipient. So therefore, ABC Private Limited will be taken as the recipient. And in this case, so this transaction will become export of service, because supplier in India, recipient outside India, and place of supply also outside India. So therefore, it will become export of service, Germany. And then Mr. John is also in Germany, and this will in turn become import of services. How it will become import of service? Where is the supplier located? Outside India. Where is the recipient located? In India. So therefore, it will become import of service, and that's what they are telling. This $5,000 will be taken as export of service, provided the $2,000 become import of service and chargeable to GST under RCM in the hands of ABC Private Limited. So that is this circular about. So finally, the one-line summary of this circular is that what should be taken as the value of export of service? Is it the $3,000 received or the $5,000 invoice? It is the $5,000 invoice that should be taken. That is this about. In case of exporter of services, outsources a portion of the service contract to another person located outside India, what would be tax treatment of the said portion of the contract in the hands of the exporter? For which it is clarified that the supplier of service located in India would be liable to pay IGST on reverse charge basis on the import of services. In that case, whatever is the invoice value that they have raised, okay, fully it will be treated as export of service. The next, second circular is related to cargo handling services. Generally, in cargo handling services, what will happen? As soon as the goods are imported, those goods will be kept under the control of a person called as custodian. The goods will be under the control of one person called as custodian. So this custodian will keep the goods till the time the customs duty is paid and the goods are cleared. Now this custodian will be collecting some charges towards cargo handling services. Will it be coming under service in relation to immobile property or general provisions? Basically, the work of custodian is to safeguard the imported goods. He is not doing any warehousing service and all. So it will not come under service in relation to immobile property, but it will be other services. Other services means which provisions will be applicable? General provisions will be applicable. So place of supply should be determined on the basis of general provisions and not in terms of immobile property services. Then next one is that, so in case of software testing services on the prototypes which are imported. So usually some goods will be manufactured outside India, and that goods which are manufactured outside India, Like prototype. Prototype means what? A sample will be imported into India. On that sample, a software company is doing the software testing. Okay. Now the confusion that came is that, is it performance based service in relation to goods or software testing services? Okay. So for example, Apple has launched one, Vision Pro, like that, one VR glasses they have launched. Now that VR glasses, will it be effectively working in our Indian environment or not, needs to be tested. So there is a software company in India which has got one piece of this Vision Pro glasses, and the software company is doing the software testing on these glasses. Is it basically service in relation to, that is performance based service in relation to goods or software services? If it is software services, general provisions will be applicable. If it is performance based service in relation to goods, we have to apply that physical presence of the goods required or not. That point we need to take. Actually, which point it will come? Here, even though a prototype is imported, but it is not on that prototype we are doing the testing. We are doing testing on the software with which this prototype will work. So this will be as good as software development and software testing services. So the general provisions will be applicable. See this. Place of supply of software designed by supplier located in taxable territory to the recipient located in non-taxable territory by using sample prototype hardware or test kits is a composite supply, where such testing is an ancillary supply. So therefore, what should be taken as a place of supply as per general provisions, that is location of recipient. Then next, this example already we have seen in case of cutting and polishing on diamonds. So in India, we have good craftsmen for doing this polishing and cutting on the diamonds. So they are importing the raw diamonds, they do cutting and polishing on the diamonds, and these diamonds are then exported. Now in that case, what will be taken as the place of supply? It will come under performance based service in relation to goods. Goods temporarily imported for carrying out repairs or any other process and exported after repairs or process. So what will be taken as the place of supply? Location of recipient. So whether that provisions are applicable in this case? Yes. In case of cutting and polishing activity on unpolished diamonds, which are temporarily imported into India and not put to any use in India, means it should not be used. Once the process is done, it should be taken outside India. Then the place of supply will be location of recipient. Then next you can see section 13 subsection 6 overrides other provisions of section 13. What is it about? Generally under section 13, for service in relation to immovable property, what will be taken as place of supply? Location of immovable property. Then performance based service in relation to goods, what will be taken as place of supply? Location where service are actually performed. And performance based service in relation to individuals also, location where service are actually performed. Organizing an event, location where the event is held. What if it is partly in India and partly outside India? If it is wholly in India, no issue, place of supply will be India. If it is wholly outside India, then also no issue, place of supply will be outside India. But under a single contract, if these services are partly in India, partly outside India, what does 13 subsection 6 says? Entirely it is deemed to be India. Is it clear or not? So if it is entirely outside India, place of supply is outside India. If entirely in India, place of supply is in India. If it is partly in India, partly outside India, what does 13 subsection 6 says? Entirely it is deemed to be India, provided it is for a single contract. What if it is separate contract? Then accordingly, contract wise we will divide. The problem is when it is single contract, part of the place of supply India, part of the place of supply outside India, then only this point will be applicable. Entirely it is deemed to be in India. Is it clear? So these are the points related to place of supply. And section 14, what we have is GST liability on OIDR services that we have already discussed in exemptions. In case of import of OIDR services, liability to pay GST is on supplier if the importer is non-taxable online recipient. If the importer is other than non-taxable online recipient, then recipient only will pay GST. So that information is there in section 14. With this, place of supply is fully completed. Okay.